afternoon. How are you doing? This is my name is Sam Williams. I'm with the Clerk of the Circuit Court. So we're going to call this the Clerk of the Circuit Court channel today. And we are having information that's going to be shared with you in regards to the suburban Cook County area for the Circuit Court of Cook County. So it's so widespread. So in order to help us get through the entire Cook County area, from all the way from Skokie all the way to Markham, we have our esteemed guest here, Miss Enza Ranieri. Right.
Hello, Sam.
All right. She is the associate clerk for suburban operations in the Clerk of the Circuit Court. So I'm just your lowly host, Sam Williams, and but I'm gonna ask her a few questions, and feel free to call in at 312-738-1060. That's 312-738-1060. And you can ask your questions. So we're going to get started.
All right.
So how you doing?
I'm doing great, Sam. Thank you so much. It's good to be here with you today.
Good. I want to say that I hesitated to say good afternoon earlier because I don't care what time of day, I'm always saying good morning. So I don't know, something about morning that just makes your day go much better.
That's right.
All right. As long as it's not a Monday morning, right?
Right.
So anyway, Enza, what does the suburban Cook County area, as far as the Clerk of the Circuit Court, what is basically their job?
Well, sure. Let me first just detail for everybody where we're located, because as you said, we are all over Cook County. We have 5 suburban district locations. We have Skokie, the District 2 courthouse. We have Rolling Meadows, District 3 courthouse, District 4, which is in Maywood, District 5 in Bridgeview, and of course District 6, which is in Markham, Illinois. So we are widespread. And what those offices really do, it may not have been in the intention in the beginning, but they are mini daily centers. Most of what happens in the daily center, not everything, but quite a bit of the work that you see in the daily center is handled in the suburban area. For example, we do handle divorce, civil cases, traffic cases, criminal, certain types of law cases. We don't do breach of contract cases in law division in the suburbs. However, as long as you have a case that has a claim of $100,000 or more, those cases are handled there. So we really do just about everything. With the migration of people into the suburbs, we've had to take on more and more services.
Wow. So it just means that you got a lot more cases coming out to the suburban
Absolutely,
area.
especially civil, especially as it concerns civil cases. A lot of those that were traditionally in Civil District 1 some years ago were moved out to the suburbs, and so it's quite packed and busy, and we're glad to be serving our constituents out there.
Yeah, I did hear that maybe a few years ago, maybe about 2014, that there was some type of appeals decision that made sure that cases that were filed in the incident took place, they had to file in where the residents reside.
Right.
And a lot of it happened out in the suburban area.
Absolutely.
And I think Markham got hit really hard.
They did.
Yeah.
Markham is a very busy suburban courthouse, which you know very well.
Yes.
And so, yes, it was very important to be able to serve people within their community. So, to that end, a lot of those cases did get sent back to the suburban locations.
Wow, that's great. So I know that the Clerk of the Circuit Court is here. Of course, it's the keeper of the records, and that's essentially what we do at the Clerk of the Circuit Court, is keep the records for every court case that is filed, or any individual that wants to come into the courthouse and actually file a lawsuit. Say they got forced into the courthouse. I say some of our customers are almost must-have customers. So
Right.
Unfortunate that you may have gotten pulled over, you have a ticket, you had to come in and you want to pay your ticket. But I think that now you don't have to necessarily come in to pay a traffic fine. I mean, I think that you can call over the phone or
You
something?
can call over the phone, you can go online. I mean, technology has been very important to Clerk Brown. So one of the things that we know in all of that innovation goes to trying to serve our customers.
Right.
So you can do it over the phone. You can go online, and make payments. It's very important because, where you have technology, it alleviates also the congestion of coming to the courthouse, if you can't make it, or, the distance that sometimes it takes, or the time. So, yes, we're very, always been very excited about adding new innovations all the time. As you know, we have a lot more things coming up.
Yeah. So that brings me right into my next question.
Excellent.
So of course we know that this Clerk of the Circuit Court, we're like moving light years into the future, right?
Right.
So I heard Little Birdie said that as of July 1st, that there is going to be mandatory electronic filing.
That's right. That is right, Sam. The Illinois Supreme Court has mandated mandatory e-filing in the state of Illinois for all 102 counties. We have been working very closely in our office with Tyler Technologies, who is the vendor of choice of the state of Illinois. And so, we're getting ready to do, quite frankly, what we've already been doing in the clerk's office. I mean, we've had e-filing. We started in law division, in the mid-2000s. So now it's mandatory throughout the state of Illinois. So, we were pioneers at the time. So beginning July 1, that is starting, all civil case types in the Chancery, Civil, County, Domestic Relations, Law, and Probate, except for wills, will be e-filing. We do have e-filing training available right now, and I know that we also have, on June 18th, we have a training that's going to be taking place for people that may want to register for that. We have 3 sessions on Monday, June 18th. I think we do have some information on that we can share, so that for anybody who would like to join us, we're going to be having 3 90-minute sessions. You can choose one that starts at 10 a.m., another at 12, and the other at 3:30 p.m., 2 p.m. They will be at the James R. Thompson Center Auditorium. So if you're familiar with the downtown area and you know where the Daly Center is, it's literally right across the street. You'll see an overview of the e-filing system. Very important to register in advance. The auditorium is large, but we want to make sure everybody has a seat. We will put, if you look at the lower sheet that we have here on the screen in blue, you go to http services cookcountyclerkofcourt.org event registration. And also, if you are an attorney, you are eligible to receive 1 hour of free CLE. There's a deadline for lawyers coming up at the end of June. So if you're down, yes, end of June is the I know a lot of lawyers who are trying to get those CLE hours in. So if you happen to be watching and you're short an hour or two, this would be the best opportunity for you to come and do that, and also learn what you're going to have to be doing, or the associates in your law firm doing. So it's a very user-friendly system. We really do encourage people to come to one of these 3 classes that are coming up on Monday.
Okay, so so that means, of course, with this mandatory e-filing system, that means that you can't really necessarily file the physical documents with us personally. So they can go on to the e-file site, I guess, that we have.
They can go onto the e-file site. We also are going to have e-filing assistants on the premises. Each one of the suburban locations does have e-filing stations, or in some instances we have e-filing rooms that were set up.
Okay.
So we do have staff that will be available to assist customers in setting up an email, and how to go through the basic process of e-filing. So rest assured, for anybody that is coming and you're not used to this type of process, that we are going to be there to support all of our customers and answer any questions that you have. And
so
I
that's
know
going to ease that tension.
That's going to ease
the tension of those who are like, oh my God, the computer. Like,
right,
what?
The computer, I know. For as much as we are so computer savvy and so computer literate in many ways, and computers have really taken over our life, there still is, this is, you have to, for people to really understand, Illinois, Cook County in particular, we've been dealing, with a way of doing business that is now being transformed overnight. So it's going to be great. This going into e-filing dovetails right into the clerk's vision of going into e-record, because we've been scanning, for many, many years. We have, hundreds of millions of images online. So you do the scanning, you have e-filing. We're literally going to be paperless.
So what does that mean as far as the scanning? So what does that mean as far as scanning? That means that the actual document that is submitted will be available to be seen?
Yes, yes, and it is right now. So with e-filing, your documents will be accepted, and you'll be able to see the image on our electronic docket. So it's a wonderful thing, because you no longer have to worry about reading the abbreviations of what happens on a court case on the docket. You can actually click onto the image and take a look at it. That service is available at all of our circuit court locations in the suburbs as well as downtown. You can go to any one of our public access terminals and take a look at cases. We know we have many people who come to us routinely, and we know them like family, right, Sam? They're there all the time. But it is a public service that we offer, so it's very important for people to realize is that It expedites things. One of the best things about e-filing is that, you can do it from the comfort of your home, your office. You don't have to, you save money at the end of the day because you are not traveling. And we know how
Trying to find a babysitter.
Find a babysitter. Take off work because you got to be, we close statutorily, we close at 4:30. So you can e-file from home up until 11:59 p.m.
Wow. Wow.
So think about it. This is something that is long coming, and we're excited about it, and we just encourage everybody to participate. But if you need somebody to hold your hand, we'll be there to do it.
Oh,
Sam will be right there in the front line.
I like holding hands. Could you hold my hand?
I'll hold your hand.
We're almost like this.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I think that is extremely wonderful because especially with the viewing of the documents, because that's it. Basically, what it has done is created an actual virtual file.
That's right.
Instead of you coming into our counter and saying, "Listen, I need a file," and then you have to wait for somebody to go find it and pull this file off the shelf. Now you can actually go to a computer, put your case number or search by name.
That's right.
And then you'll be able to pull up your actual cases. Right?
That's right. We have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of files, and it's impossible to keep everything on the premises. As you know what our office does on a regular basis. We move files off of the premises to our records center so we can make room for the next year. So as opposed to having to wait for something to come in, as long as it's been imaged, you're good to go. There's really no reason to have to wait for a file anymore. It's a beautiful thing. And with e-filing and scanning, and it takes us up to the potential for e-record down the road. It's really a wonderful service for Cook County and for the state.
Matter of fact, that's probably what we're going to title this show. Don't wait in line, go online.
That's right. That's what we want you to do.
That'll be the slogan of this show tonight. Maybe next week's show they'll keep the same. I'll talk to them. We'll keep the same theme.
Absolutely.
Don't wait in line, go online. Say that with me. You can say that. So yeah, we definitely we want to make sure that at least people understand that they don't necessarily have to travel downtown if they have or if they live in the suburban area that they live in. Like say Skokie. What's one of the cities that's affiliated with Skokie?
Oh, right next to Skokie, you've got Niles, you've got Glenview, you've got Park Ridge.
Okay.
The surrounding areas right there, Morton Grove.
Okay.
And with District 2, you've got, Rolling Meadows and Arlington Heights, and, with Bridgeview, you've got Broadview, you've got Western Springs. And, next to Markham, you've got a lot of the southern suburbs. You've got Stager, and you've got, Country Club Hills.
Yeah.
So, your demographics, are, it's convenient, to go to the suburban locations if you want to. But again, you could do it from home. But if you need some assistance and you need a little hand holding, you can go to any one of those locations and we will assist you.
So you want to give that information
Sure.
about the training again?
Yes, please. We really urge you to come for this presentation on e-filing Monday, June 18th. We have 3 90-minute sessions, 10 a.m., 12 noon, and at 2 p.m. James R. Thompson Center, if you don't recall it, if you don't come downtown very often, it's that huge glass building that is right behind the Richard J. Daley Center. You'll see an overview of the e-filing system, and there will be an opportunity to answer questions. There'll be Q&A. Visiting e-filing, the service providers will have their information on site. But please remember, you must register in advance for this. So again, you need to go to https services cookcountyclerkofcourt.org/event registration. And don't forget, if you're a lawyer or if you know a lawyer that needs a little CLE credit, the deadline is coming up. This is the perfect opportunity.
This is great. So I do want to, again, extend, if you have any questions that you want, feel free to definitely give us a call at 312-738-1060. Again, that is 312-738-1060. You can also view this segment also online also, too. Here we go talking about those computers again.
Yeah,
so, on your cell phone or if you have a laptop or a computer, and you can actually view this show. I'm sure that they'll re-air it, too. So, but also, so Enza, so speaking again of the electronic filing, so does that mean that regular mail, that they can't mail filings in?
Well, they can mail filings in up until the end of June. After July 1, we will be not accepting them anymore. So it's really important for everyone to understand, up until what we receive, that arrives before July 1, we will process them. But if you're looking to send something in on July 1st, it will not be processed.
There's that date again, July
I know,
1st.
July 1, please. So we have 2 more weeks to go. Today is the 14th.
So it's like 17 days, I think.
17 days. So please make sure that you mark your calendar. We will process anything that we receive prior to that, but anything that is postage stamped July 1 forward, we will not be able to do it. So again, it might be easier for you to come to a circuit court location if you don't want to e-file remotely, or you still have all of your documents prepared but don't want to take the risk of it being late. You can certainly go to Skokie, Rolling Meadows, Maywood, Bridgeview, or Markham.
Okay, and so I do want to. I guess I'm gonna have to ask this question. So those that just say, "Hey, listen, I don't have a computer, and I am still definitely afraid of a keyboard." Okay, so is something available for those people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they can come to the office. Each one of the suburban locations has an e-filings area or station. I know that except for Maywood District 4, all of the e-filing assistants will be in the same office as the clerk's office. For Maywood, there's actually a location that is on the lower level of the building. But we will have staff there. People will be directed into that location. We were able to build out a wonderful space, that is exclusively for e-filing. But in every suburban location that you go to, when you go to the front counter, you will be able to e-file.
Right.
Markham has its own room, which is adjacent to the front counter desk, as well as Rolling Meadows. Bridgeview and Skokie, it's right when you walk into the walk into our office in the courthouse.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. It's right there. We have plenty of space. We have plenty of terminals. I really think that, it was really planned out really well.
Okay. So if they don't have internet access, so is there something that they can file?
Yes, they can. They can actually file for a certification for exemption from e-filing.
Okay.
You can certainly find it on the Illinois Supreme Court website, which is illinoiscounty.gov/forms. So you would have to file this document each time you file. So, the exemption is not just you file one time and then you're exempted every time. You have to file for the exemption each time.
Great. That's good to know. That's good to know. So it's something out there for everybody.
Yeah.
So I do need to ask this too. So I know we touched on definitely electronic filing, which is the civil area of laws, and we touched on, of course, traffic fines. You said we can possibly pay those either online, or if there's like a court diversion payment, I guess,
Sure.
or if there's a court order, meaning that you went to court and they gave you a fine, you can probably pay that over the phone via credit card. But also, is there a way for expungements? Like, is there some courthouses that do everybody have the help for expungements?
We do have help desks in some areas. Chicago, as you know, Cabrini Green actually has a desk that is in the city.
Okay.
But we do have help desks in a couple of locations. It's very important to just call in advance. First to find out whether or not the help desk is open, because we have, for example, in District 2 and District 5 and District 6 have them, but they're limited to certain days of the week and certain times. Districts 3 and Districts 4 do not have a legal help desk. But what I would suggest people do is that, they can call Cabrini Green directly, and or they can call Mandel Legal Clinic. There's Northwestern Legal Clinic. There are other places you can call to get legal assistance. So, as I said, District 2 has a desk which is right outside of the office doors. District 5 and 6, but Districts 3 and 4 do not have a legal help desk, unfortunately.
Okay, but at least there's definitely some help. They can
Yes.
go to one of those courthouses
Yes.
and get some assistance.
Right, or just go online and look up, legal assistance, look up Cabrini Green, look up Mandel Legal Clinic. So, if you plug any of those in, if you do Google, go on there and look for free or low cost legal services for Chicago or Cook County, they will pop up.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And so I want to again give the phone number again. I don't know if we have any phone calls. We have any callers out there? Okay. We have any callers? All right, so again, I'll give you one more time. Give you the phone number, 312-738-1060. Again, that is 312-738-1060. I mean, you only got like a couple of minutes. You can get in and you can actually ask us a couple of questions. You get to talk with Enza. You know, we
And
love
Sam.
talking to Enza. You know,
Yes.
sometimes I love talking to myself. I just don't answer myself. I try not to.
Well, let's tell everybody, Sam, where all of our locations
Yes.
are, because you bring up a good point here. We are located all throughout Chicago. We have, of course, we have the Richard J. Daley Center, which is at 50 West Washington. We also have the Criminal Division, which is at 2650 South California Avenue, Domestic Violence Court, which is in the West Loop at 555 West Harrison, the Juvenile Court at 1100 South Hamilton, which also encompasses child protection as well as juvenile court, and of course our district location. So we are vast and wide, and we're all over Cook County. So there's plenty of locations for you to go to answer questions. You might have an e-filing question, and you can't get to a particular district, but you live close enough to juvenile. Just go to the front counter and ask. So we'll be more than happy to help you.
As a matter of fact, juvenile. Are there juvenile court locations at? Is it just at 1100 South Hamilton? Or?
Well, the majority of cases are 1100 South Hamilton, but there is a suburban juvenile court call. Each court location, except for Markham, has a 5-day-a-week court call. But the remaining court districts, there's a lot of kids. Yes, there's a lot of kids that need a little guidance, but that's okay. But each one of the suburban court locations does have a court call for juvenile. So that, is another service provided out into the community. But the detention center is in one location, which is at 1100 South Hamilton. So if somebody is remanded to the detention center, that's where they stay. And then, of course, the main juvenile court is at 1100 South Hamilton.
So I do want to make this point from what I've also heard when you're electronic filing. So I'm going to jump back to this electronic filing because the locations are extremely important. So since County is such a large, we're the second largest county in the nation, pretty much. We're kind of like the largest unified system in the world, court system in the world. But it's very important that you know where to file and what court location to go to when you file. So when you go onto the electronic filing site, that you choose the actual exact location where you should be filing. I don't think it's necessarily where I want to file. I think you may want to do your research to find out where you should be filing.
That's a good point, Sam. A very good point. Is that if you're not familiar and maybe it's your first time ever filing in Cook County for whatever reason, you need to make sure that if you're looking to file, I'll just say a divorce case, that you look up domestic relations. If you're looking to file for a civil matter, that you actually look up civil. If you're looking to sue somebody for under a certain amount of money, you have to know the difference between filing in law division and filing in civil, depending on what you're filing. Especially where it goes with the suburbs, as I mentioned earlier, law cases in the suburbs, you have to have a claim of $100,000 or more. So it's a very important point. I appreciate you bringing that up very much, Sam. He's always on top of his game. And
Listen,
we appreciate all the time we've had
I
today.
appreciate you being here today. Enza, see, reaching out,
Reach
hand
out.
to hand. This is what we're all about, the Clerk of the Circuit Court,
That's
and
right.
reaching out. And so reaching out to you. So you just come on in at any time if you need assistance. And we are here. We have the court locations again. We're just going to show you that real quick. And then, so again, the Clerk of the Circuit Court, we're vast, we're wide. And again, this is the theme. Don't wait in line, go online. All right, so we are always here for you, the Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County. Thank you. I am your host, Samuel Williams. And then we have, of course, Ms. Enza Ranieri, the Associate Clerk of Suburban Bureau. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.